Today is Holocaust Memorial Day, and I know there are a lot of people who just roll their eyes when they hear that, but it's for those kinds of people that Holocaust Memorial Day is truly important. For that type of people and for those who would be passive in the face of them. The Holocaust didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened on the backdrop of millennia of Jew hatred and anti-Jewish propaganda, much of which still exists around the world. A large part of that is the demonization of Jews for not accepting Jesus. Some facts regarding that. The majority of Jews were not in the land of Israel when Jesus was alive. The majority of Jesus's disciples, practically all of them before his death, were Jewish. All 12 apostles were Jewish. The original debate in the early Christian community, they weren't even called Christians, by the way, at first, was not whether Jews could be disciples of Jesus, but whether non-Jews could be disciples of Jesus without first becoming Jewish. But more on point and more relevant to Holocaust Memorial Day than any of this is, if you follow a Jesus who teaches the demonization of Jesus's people, the people of Israel, if you follow a Jesus who teaches that Jews should be slaughtered or no mercy should be shown to them, or Jews should be viewed as suspect because they don't believe in your version of Christ, then are you actually a disciple of Christ? Because Christ, at least the Christ of the New Testament, he taught to love your enemies, to pray for your enemies, to treat them kindly. And regarding the very, very small number of Jews, literally a handful, who handed him over to the Romans to be crucified, while crucified, he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Do you deny the prayer of Jesus? Do you deny the effectiveness of his intercession on their behalf to the Father? What kind of Christian are you if you do? And if you relish in his criticism of Jewish leadership at that time 2,000 years ago and use it to justify your hate of Jews today, when he was belittling parts of the leadership, the Pharisees, for not having enough compassion in their worship of God, for being too self-righteous, then what would he say about you, who belittle and ostracize and demonize Jews 2,000 years later, who have nothing to do with those hypocritical leaders? What would he say about your hypocrisy and the log in your own eye? What is worse, the self-righteousness of the Pharisees 2,000 years ago, or the myriad of Christians and Christian leaders who were passive or even participatory in the Holocaust itself? Truth is stranger than fiction. If you are a follower of Christ, of the Gospels, then you're a follower of a Jewish Christ, a Jewish Messiah. A Messiah who said in Matthew chapter 5, verses 17 through 19, "Do not think that I came to abolish or nullify the Torah, the law of Moses, and the prophets. I have not come to abolish, but to actualize, to do, to fulfill." And for those who think that by fulfill, he meant not doing, but no longer needing to do, then apply that same reasoning to every other use of the term fulfill in the New Testament. And apply that reasoning to the very next verse in Matthew chapter 5, where it says, "And whoever does and teaches the least of these commandments of the Torah, the law of Moses, he will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever nullifies even the least of these commandments, he will be called nothing in the kingdom of heaven." Choose you this day who you will serve. Will you serve a real king of the Jews? Will you serve a true Christ For king of the Jews, the king of Israel, he always carries the Torah with him, the law of Moses. But an antichrist abandons it. The king of the Jews protects his people, but an antichrist seeks to destroy them. Choose you this day who you will serve. Happy Holocaust Day.